Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the High School Star League Grand Finals. My name is Seth Achilleos King. With me on the desk is, of course, none other than Brian Crusader Kitten Truong. We are getting ready to go into our second game in this best-of-5 series between Temple City and Wootton High Schools. Wootton coming out of a pretty dominating game now, 1-0 in this series. Going to be looking to close this out within the next two, if possible.
Well, it should be a really good game coming out from them. Not only do you have us two classes on the desk, we also have this wonderful MSI Dragon that we can.
All right, you're gonna try. Okay, there. Come on, you can do. There we go.
Ah, we did it.
All right, you got him. But
awesome.
yeah, so things to be looking for as we get ready to move into the picks and bans this next game.
Yes, there you go.
The Twisted Fate.
Twisted Fate.
White
from right.
Played
wow,
absolutely phenomenally. Almost had. I don't know the numbers at the final
I don't even know it.
bit of the
Just
game.
a lot.
Almost 100% kill participation.
Yeah.
He had 100% for a large portion of that game. So almost certainly going to be seeing that Twisted Fate taken away. If it's not the first ban, I'll be pretty surprised. There it is, in fact. The Temple City will go ahead and learn from that last one and take that one off the board. Evelyn, of course, still being banned away here by Wootton. They don't want to give that over to the hands of Panther Lily, so they take that off the board. Grog is still available. We have not seen a Rek'Sai yet, and I don't believe any of the games this week. So maybe we could see that one coming to the table.
We've seen it banned a lot, which is really surprising, seeing as these junglers don't tend to play too much of the Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the strongest jungle pick. You know, I mean, obviously we saw the Elise in the last game, really big coming out from Yami. How come we get banned away from Captain Nick? So I'm not sure about that, because RC seemed like he was able to handle that champion really well.
Yeah, RC did a phenomenal job of hounding down Captain Nuke's Hecarim in the top lane. Went for the Frozen Mallet first item, and from there on out, it just, the entire game was in his hand. Had some pretty fantastic Gnar ultimates as well as those team fights developed, but overall, just great split pressure from him. So a little shocking, but a respect ban coming out all the same. Yeah. Alistar will be the next one taken away. That is not really surprising at all.
Yeah, was played by Toka last game. He did have some openings for the headbutt pulverizing. He was able to hit quite a few good ones here. Shen also banned out, as well as the Fizz. So no Fizz here for Yami, and no Shen for that top lane, but Sivir gets picked up for positivity. Yep. And as we talked about, that is such a good pickup for him.
Yeah, and the Sivir is just so strong right now as an AD carry. We saw it banned out in the last game. It makes it through this time. Not too shocking to see that one picked up first. I mean, she doesn't have too many huge counter picks at the given moment. Lucian was one that people really went for earlier on, but right now he's really underpowered and fairly underwhelming in lane, so we won't see that one coming out. Vayne is a decently popular counter to that Sivir just because you can only really block the Condemn, but it's still very punishable because you have such a short range and you're so squishy and you're really item reliant. So that's a pretty safe first pick here for the side of Wootton. I
feel like the Hecarim ban is just Thomas S. Wootton. They obviously don't want Captain Nuke on a favorite pick. And they also, maybe they're just playing, they're not playing reactively anymore. They don't want to have to counter it out. Maybe they have a game plan going into them. Obviously, I mean, Gnar obviously did really well with it against the Hecarim, but maybe this time they're going to be looking to bring a comp of their own. They do have the first pick, obviously, picks and bans, so getting that Sivir is huge. We're going to see what happens after it. Temple City High School, though, taking a bit of time for this one, but it looks like we may have a bit of an issue with our champion select.
Yeah, so looks like one of our players actually disconnected. So just having a little bit of an issue there, and looks like the picks actually did come through at the end there. I'm not sure if it was one of our observers that actually disconnected or if it was in fact us. I think we are getting the okay to go back into the picks and bans here in just a second, and we will find out what exactly has happened and what the evolution of the rest of this pick ban will be like.
Yeah, well, maybe we should explain why this MSI Dragon is here.
Go right ahead.
Well, these MSI Dragon plushies, we actually have a big one in the back of our room, but these along with...
Yeah, can't see it.
Yeah, these along with some MSI GT80 Titan laptops have been graciously provided to us for the players to use and to play on. But enough of that. We are into the picks and bans. That is going to be Tilt God on that Nautilus. And look at this combo. Panther Lily on his Satori. That is his favorite champion to play, his most played in solo queue. And we are seeing the Zed coming out with an Orianna once again.
Yeah, and that is not really shocking at all. He had some pretty clutch shock waves, but of course Rek'Sai has been picked up here by Yami. It's going to be the first Rek'Sai that we're seeing this entire week, so I'm really excited to see how he plays this one. Like you mentioned, it's not one that really comes into play too much for these guys, so seeing him pick this up, this could, maybe work out for Temple City if Yami is not too familiar with that Rek'Sai.
So this is the first time we're seeing Rumble here, and it's actually not on the mid lane Zed. He plays a lot of mid lane Rumble. It's not him. It's actually RC going to be taking this to the top lane. That's actually RC's favorite champion. At least that's what he told us. Victor Hover over here, as well as the Braum. Braum, as we talked about before on Busted Dice, he's hugely aggressive on that. Victor for white, he had such a great game on that champion in the second game of the semifinals. So these are a lot of comfort picks coming in here. We are going to be finally seeing a Rek'Sai have some play. And this is going to be interesting. Looks like they hover over the Jinx here. What do you think about this, Achilles?
So this is a really big wombo combo heavy team here for Temple City. The Jinx is going to be, looking to sit in the back line, throw out those rockets, and really just spray down the Gatling gun and melt the HP bars of the enemies. But look at the crowd control coming through from Temple City. They have the Gnar who can hop in with the Mega Gnar. Ball delivery system in that regard. You have Sejuani, Glacial Prison into Shockwave, as well as Nautilus there with the depth charge, with the dredge lines. Riptide for the AoE slow. So much crowd control coming up from Temple City. If they can protect Johan, they're really going to take off here. And I hope that Johan and Tilt... God, are they going to swap these around? Because they need to.
It looks like there may be a little bit of a bug, but I mean, Temple City
perhaps.
bringing in.
Either way, these compositions are going to be locked in. This is what is going to be played. So it looks like there is a slight client bug. We might have to go ahead and restart this one. It looks like these guys cannot trade. But yeah, so
Temple City.
We know it's going to be played here, so that's good.
Temple City bringing out a heavy team fight oriented composition, but last game they just really couldn't do too much with it. They had a very similar comp in the last game, another Orianna delivery system. This time there is a lot more CC here.
Yeah, they have a lot more peel to offer.
Sejuani, I feel like, is a much better hard engage champion.
Yeah, so she's fallen out of favor a little bit. She used to be a part of the trifecta of junglers that we would see. It would really be Gragas, Rek'Sai, and Sejuani coming out. So it's going to be pretty much one of the first appearances of her that we've seen in a very long time. She takes a long while to vamp up. She has to really hit that level 6 point to become pretty impactful and get that Glacial Prison so she can actually lock people down. Before that, she really only offers that slight little displacement as she dashes in, that little mini stun, and then just generally a slow. So not a whole lot for her to offer early on. So I wouldn't be too shocked if we see really aggressive, invasive play coming out from Yami here on that Rek'Sai, because he can really track the position of that Sejuani so well because of his passive with those tremors. He can even just walk in. He doesn't have to go to the camps. He can just walk into the jungle and he will spot and see if that Sejuani is nearby.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep our eye out on those two for sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be another of kind of global presence comp. Instead of white on the Twisted Fate, it is going to be Rek'Sai here for Yami. It's his third most played champion in solo queue, so obviously a champion he's familiar with, but we did see it banned on the last game. We're seeing it now. I think Victor is going to be really fun to see. Busted Dice obviously has been showing up on this Braum, has just been, I mean, it's a very niche support pick. You don't see it too often, but comfort pick, obviously very good for Busted Dice here. He's been kind of, I think we really saw him shine when he was playing Leona in the second game of that, the semifinals matchup. Yeah, but really just showed his engaged potential there. He had this ridiculous solar flare into a bush that it was pretty much based off of intuition.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how white is going to use his Zed. You made mention of it. We saw that Twisted Fate. Now, Zed's certainly somebody that can take off even more easily. He's got that Death Ray, just melt through the back wave. The Victor, yeah, I said. Zed and Zud, I'm mixing up my names, but yeah, Victor.
It's Victor on white.
Losing it here. But yeah, the Victor is something that I'm certainly going to be.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it has been.
Too long.
It's been a long day. The Victor, I'm really excited to see Death Ray melt through that back line. Should be almost equal in roam potential from him. He doesn't have that global presence because of the Destiny, but because he can just melt through the wave and not miss CS, he can just roam straight down, to either the top or the bottom lanes. So I'm excited to see how White is going to be manipulating that and
I mean, it's Victor.
pressuring around the map.
He's just one of the strongest middle laners currently.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really powerful. And that's the other thing is, like, because of all the AoE that's going on, you know, all of the members of Temple City are going to be pretty much grouped up. That is going to make for a pretty powerful Chaos Storm if he can get ahead. If he's suffering and is behind in his AP numbers, he's not going to be able to output enough damage. But if he can at least lane well and get the items that he needs essentially early on, he should be a force to be reckoned with when it comes down to those team fights.
Yeah, and we have seen, obviously, as I said before, Victor being played by White. He's also played quite a bit in ranked 5, so it looks like we may be getting into game possibly soon, but you can see the two teams on your screen now. It is Temple City versus Thomas S. Wootton. Thomas S. Wootton up 1-0 in this best of 5. And here are your lineups. Really solid lineup looking like from Thomas S. Wootton. I mean, going up against Temple City, who has like played the most on their ranked 5s, who seem to have the most practice, who seem really strong because they're not coming in like with any roster lane swaps, roster swaps, things like that. Thomas S. Wootton having so many role swaps, having a sub come in for their support, but Busted Dice has shown to be really strong in this role. Yeah,
and you mentioned a lane swap. I wonder if that's going to be something that we actually see coming forward into this game, maybe to avoid having Gnar play into the Rumble. Because Gnar can do pretty well due to his range in that mini Gnar form in that 1v2 situation. So wouldn't be too surprised if we actually see that happen here on the side of Temple City. But to see exactly what these guys want to do when we get onto the Rift, which I believe is going to be happening in just a minute. I think these guys are just rolling right back through those picks and bans, and then we should be underway for game 2. So, I mean, after looking at that first game and now the compositions for this next one, what do you think as far as prediction goes? Do you think Temple City is going to be able to clinch themselves a victory, or do you think that Wootton is going to come out 2-0 and move into the 3rd game?
Well, it's really up to Temple City to just take the lead in this game. That's really what they have to do, especially with the comp that they brought. Last game they were just playing so reactively, the team fighting composition couldn't really do too much, and it was all up for Thomas S. Wootton to be the driving force. We have the crowd shouting for the respective teams. It is Thomas S. Wootton versus Temple City. Game number 2 is what we're into now. 1-0 for Wootton, but it is our best of 5 grand finals.
Yeah, and this is do or die time here. So we're getting ready to see for Temple City. Definitely want to net themselves a victory, tie it up 1-1, and extend this series against Wootton. The reverse sweep pressure would be pretty immense if Wootton is able to go 2 up over top of Temple City. You know, winning 3 in a row is no easy task. So we'll see if they are up to the challenge here. So far, looks like we may just get our standard lanes from both sides. No deep ward coverage coming out on either side. It's really just going to be a standard 5-point across the river.
I feel like after that last game, Thomas Wootton have to be a lot more confident. I mean, Captain Nuke, a really hyped up top laner by us, by other players and whatnot, and they just maybe RC just feels like I can take him on. No need to put RC on the back foot in a 1v2 situation.
All right, so it looks like we do have a pause. So another slight technical difficulty as we get ready to figure out what's going on with that. But we should be back into the game in just a minute or 2 here. So it shouldn't be too much of a delay. But yeah, so no real shocking starts coming out. We're not seeing a lane swap so far. No deep wards either. So it seems like it's going to be fairly standard. And we can see actually going straight back into the game. So minor issue, got that taken care of, so that's good. So we can actually get this one underway. Rek'Sai, of course, going to be starting on the top side of the map, as is Panther Lily by the looks of it. So we should have a little bit of a mirrored start for these junglers as they work their way from the top to the bottom side of the map. This opens up both bot lanes to actually start at a jungle camp. We can see the Gromp start here for Johan and Tilt God, who should be able to take that relatively easily. Nautilus, of course, is going to be pretty tanky, but then you see, Busted Ice and Positivity going to go for those Krugs as well. So should have a pretty even start between these 80 carries, and that level 2 should come quickly for both.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this happen. We've seen a few matches where neither of these teams go for these, neither of the duo lanes go for these starts on these early camps here, but This is what we're going to be seeing. We're seeing a bit of double jungling here as well for Captain Nuke and RC. So very similar starts coming out here for both of these teams.
Yep, so go ahead and take that blue buff away. We'll see if we have any kind of invasive play like we saw last time. You know, Panther Lily went forward, got that blue buff taken away from the side of Yami, and then lost his respectively. So not sure if we'll see that again or if these guys are just going to go ahead and play fairly standardly so far. It looks like it is going to be the latter. Teleport burned in that top side of the map. Get Captain Nuke back there as quickly as possible. RC will go ahead and use his. Going to be just a little bit behind, but CS should stay pretty much the same. Busted Ice gets grabbed up. Zap comes through as he gets locked down. Good trade here, coming out in favor of Temple City. That's exactly what they need to do to pressure out this lane and give Jinx that edge early on.
Really, the strength of the Nautilus here coming out for Tilt. God, this is kind of his comfort here, playing these tanky champions. Alistar was banned away from him, but Nautilus so good for early pressure. You put that with the Jinx. There's so much damage right here. Comes down from the side. The stun immediately down onto Johan. He is exhausted up, but he's under his tower. Tilt coming out, flash coming out from Tilt God, but that is going to be 3 summoners blown in that bottom lane.
Yeah, and Panther Lily just not able to arrive in time. Yami with a really effective level 3 gank, pulling out those 3 summoners. That is going to hurt the side of Temple City immensely because Panther Lily waiting in the wings over that side of the wall, but I don't think he's going to be able to find anything, especially with Johan backing. Looks like he will just come into lane and share in this experience and gold from these minions. But outside of that, a lot lost for Temple City in that bot lane. Going to have to play much more cautiously and get some wards out in that river ASAP.
Yep, so I'm going to see middle lane Yami coming in here for yet another game. Forces the flash out of Zud, and look at this pressure coming out. This is what we want to see from Yami. He was very present throughout the early game last game, and Panther Lily was pretty much farming like he was very ahead in CS, but Yami is all about making an impact around the map, and that's something you can really easily do when you're playing Rek'Sai.
Yeah, and this really begs the question. We saw Rek'Sai banned out in a few games, but there were games where it actually did make it through and it was not picked up. This really begs the question of why was Rek'Sai not selected? Because you can see just in the first 5 minutes of this game, realistically, you know, the first 3 since minions have gotten to lane, he's pulled out 4 major summoner spells. The only one not being burned out in that bot lane just being the exhaust from Tilt God. So he will have that if more aggression comes out from the side of Wootton. But without flashes, without that heal from Johan, it's going to be really difficult for them to stay safe. And now, especially for Zud here, very immobile mid laner with that Orianna, no escapes. Just has he's just got the he's got the speed boost from the dissonance, but Victor at least has a gravity field that he can drop on top of himself to slow out and eventually stun the enemy. So Orianna going to be very susceptible to gank, so he's going to have to play quite carefully. Panther Lily, I thought he was actually getting aggressed on for a second there, but just finishing off the Krugs takes him pretty low, but he should have a pretty effective first back. So while no kills came out from Yami, Panther Lily was able to stick into that jungle and get a little bit of a CS lead, but we also have to look at that one for Captain Nuke, who is taking off on this Gnar. 32-19. RC not really able to find his footing yet.
It's like attempted gank coming out from Yami, but isn't able to get anything there. It's interesting because last game we did see RC very ahead in terms of CS, but I mean, the Gnar is just such a great pick against melee champions, especially this Rumble, who's going to be having a hard time putting down some damage. Cannot really answer the poke either. So we are seeing that bit of a difference, and this may be a bit of a different top lane now, because last game we did see RC with a pretty commanding lead, definitely in terms of CS. Panther Lily, the looking at switching things out. He's going to be coming into the middle lane here. Does get the dash down. He does get the knockback as well. White's going to be taken low here. He does have the level 6 shockwave. Not going to land though. So White is able to get away.
That would have been certain death for White if that shockwave had not whiffed. Zud thrown that one out, and then with no mana, unable to follow up in any other regard. Good pressure does come out, but White holds on to both summoner spells. He didn't even have to flash to avoid the shockwave. It was just a complete mechanical error there from the side of Zud. Gonna have to play a little bit better than now. RC getting aggressed on. Nice Mega Gnar stun into the wall. The boulder connects as well. Captain Nuke, he's playing far forward, but he loses that Mega Gnar, so he's gonna play that much more cautiously. He should have to back off here. And RC with that equalizer might be able to aggress. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful here moving forward. See, he throws that out to go ahead and clear out the wave.
That's all right,
So
guys. We're not going to quit out here. We've got the second computer up, so we can just switch over, and we'll be able to see what's going on. Looks like Yami actually heading over to this bottom lane. Will be seen by a ward, though. Can't quite get a gank down. Teleport, it will be coming out from RC over to this top lane here. He'll get right back over to it, but he is 20 CS down.
Yeah, that's really not a good look here for Ori, who wants to, you can see doesn't have enough to get the haunting guys on the first back, which would certainly be a desirable acquisition for him, but not able to find that. Meanwhile, Captain Nuke, he's yet to back. He is still just sitting on all of those items, or just that, that level 1 item with the Doran's Blade. So he doesn't have any major components yet. I don't know what he's going to go for.
Oh, Captain Nuke
we'll have
waiting
to
on
see.
the side.
Yeah.
RC does not know he is in there, but he is very, very close to him. Flamesword is actually really taking him down. They are waiting, though, for Panther Lily to come up here.
Yeah, it looks like Captain Nuke's just going to stick in here in the
knows
back. He doesn't have a
Lily.
Narbar. He's chugging on some potions. He doesn't get the first swing. He finds
Oh,
that one.
damage.
Panther Lily.
Oh,
Nice
flash is over, but the Glacial Prison comes through.
Here comes
Yami
Yami.
coming in. A double knockup going to be coming in. Captain Nuke is solo, but he's still alive. Panther Lily able to walk away, and what a fight coming in. Flash over the Sejuani coming out from RC. What a reaction from him, but cannot get out of that Glacial Prison. But Yami is there to save him.
Yeah, and that was really close for Captain Nuke. Good on Panther Lily to actually body block the Prey Seeker. One hit from that would have taken him down and given the first blood over to Wootton. So good reaction there on Captain Nuke, who's been playing this top lane pretty methodically. You can see on that first back now. He's just going to go straight tanky. This is not surprising whatsoever. Has that Giant Spell in his pocket with the Ruby Crystal. So likely going to be picking up a Spectre's Cowl pretty soon, but has to prioritize those wards coming in. So looking to get that. So far, very much a slower start compared to last game, where before we saw a couple kills. Good gank and counter gank coming out there from Yami in the top side, but still unable to find any real kills. CS is pretty close across the board. It's really Captain Nuke that is helping equalize this for his team, though. You can see down by about 17 is Zud in that mid lane, and about 14 as well for Johan. First Dragon, though, is being started up by Wootton, taking the initiative to get themselves a bit of a lead. They will take this one down. No opposition whatsoever. First Dragon in 10 minutes.
Yeah, once again, the first Dragon coming out for them. Flash forced out from White.
That's the Super Mega Death Rocket thrown out. Does a little bit of damage to Yami, but need a heck of a lot of crit to
Anyway, first Dragon for Thomas S. Wootton. And once again, they're just having this objective control, which is really good coming out from them. Their teams are pretty much neck and neck and goal, so that one advantage is in that Dragon here. Thomas S. Wootton starting this game off on the right foot.
Yeah, and so is Temple City, though. So, playing much more cautiously compared to last game. And, that can really be seen with that first gank that Yami had in the bot lane, where he got 3 summoner spells. That's maybe not so much Temple City playing poorly, but them just deciding to play a bit more cautiously, saying, you know what, we had a really hard time in that last game. Let's just play very safe, use the spells, keep ourselves alive as much as we possibly can, and then just try to rely on the heavy scaling competition that they have garnered for themselves. So this didn't really work out for them too well because of the with the Tristana and Orianna last time, but with this immense amount of CC, likely could pay out better for them. Panther Lily does find Yami. They both trade back a little bit of damage. Zud starts wandering over, but that will be enough for them to peel off of each other. So trade damage pretty evenly between the two of them. You can see that the bot lane of Wootton, though, playing very far forward. It's going to be the Dredge line connected on the Busted Ice. Wall will block most of that damage going through, and Positivity just keeps clearing out this wave. You can see the CS lead now stretching to 26 minions.
Middle lane, Yami, there's a gank going down. Forced out the flash from Zud.
Yet again.
Very aggressive here. Bottom lane tower is going to follow as well, so Thomas has really picked up the first tower of the game. And already just the objectives are starting to come in for him. The objectives are so huge in their last game. Once again onto middle, it's Yami here once again. Gets a knockup down, there's no flash on the Zud. And look at the damage of the Chaos Storm going to be coming in, but will not be able to finish him off.
Yep.
Even had the barrier up if he needed it, but it's just going to be okay.
Yeah.
Back gets stopped for a second.
So good on him. I mean, keeps himself alive, holds onto the barrier as well, but the flash being down. Oh, that is not going to land.
The depth charge, though.
Gravity field comes through, the depth charge lands. That's going to be the dredge line. Shockwave comes through. That should be enough. And now the teleport's coming out. Zud very low, has to play back. Flash forward. First blood goes into the Panther Lily as he takes down White. And now RC in a best spot gets locked up into the wall. Captain Nuke with a fantastic ultimate. Gets the second kill. 2-0 in favor of Temple City. They kick this game off on the right foot.
Temple City, first 2 kills of the game. That is going to be huge. And what a great fight coming out for them. Teleports just pretty much at the right times here. Gnar ultimate against the wall onto RC. Really well done. And, you know, so Giovanni ultimate doesn't land, but they just flash depth charge. Shockwave lands. And it is a lot of damage put down onto White. It is huge. I mean, they have to get him off. Like, he is regarded as having the best mechanics out of Thomas S. Wootton. Putting him at a disadvantage would be huge. Busted Dice, though, roaming inside the jungle. Gonna find Panther Lily doing his red. And he's just gonna walk away from him.
Yeah, not too much you can do there. So he will be able to pick that one up and secure it for himself. So far, objectives, global objectives have been in favor of Wootton, but with those 2 kills, it's gonna help them out quite nicely. Going to have to start prioritizing, you know, the taking of some turrets and that next dragon for sure as we move forward into the rest of this game. Captain Nuke doing what he can to hound down Busted Ice and get some damage in.
Yeah, so with bottom lane tower going down, we are seeing the swap of the lanes. Positivity and Busted Ice going to be roaming up to this top lane to apply more pressure on the Captain Nuke. Dragon is down for a few more minutes, so you don't have to worry about that. And they can just go ahead and start getting to work on taking down this top lane tower. Yami's up here as well. And this is just once again the game plan coming out. Captain Nuke jumping in here, but doesn't really want to get just yet. However, he does have members of Temple City High School coming up to help.
Yeah, can't get too aggressive. Does not have that Mega Gnar ultimate available for him. Still on cooldown from the last time that he used it.
So it's really clear that Temple City, Thomas S. Wootton have had this game plan. We saw when Busted Dice was going in, actually hold up, going to be caught out here. Speaking of Busted Dice, Panther Lily, Dredge Line, Glacial Fisser, flashing away, but it is going to be the Glacial Prison, and that will be the kill over to Zud. So a great pickoff coming out.
Yeah, good grab for him. It's going to be 3 kills now in the hands of Temple City. Not slowing down. Tearing through the HP bar of Busted Ice on this Braum. Not yet able to become tanky. You can see he's really prioritized vision and mobility with those Moby Boots, with that Sightstone. You know, that HP is only going to do a little bit for him. So gets taken down. Zud getting that kill will help him out quite a bit. You can see he's already looking pretty strong. The Theme's Unholy Grail will be the next thing it looks like he's going to try to finish out, but he also does have that Rabbit and Seth cap, sitting on about 1,000 gold in his pocket, so he doesn't quite have enough to finish out the Athenes. I think he could get the Fiendish Codex towards that, but he could also just go for his boots if he wants to get that penetration.
The thing is here, Temple City, despite having the kill advantage, they're still mostly playing reactively. A lot of these picks have been off of counter ganks or off of getting, you know, a pickoff, obviously. Temple City, Thomas S. Wootton, as I've seen, before they went to go with the lane swap up to the top lane and push down the sides we're seeing now, Busted Ice was actually inside the jungle, putting down wards well in advance, which is actually when he saw Panther Lily at the red buff. But Temple City are just finding these really good pickoffs just at the right time for them.
Yeah. Doing really well for them. You can see Johan, he's still a little bit behind, but applying some pressure in that mid lane. Actually dead even in items right now, despite the CS discrepancy. There's a BF Sword Pickaxe, double Dorans for both of them with boots on top. Panther Lily looking to take down this Dragon. Should be able to smite it out, and he does. It's going to be 1-1 on Dragon. Does not get the dash through the wall. Try to get the grab onto RC, but all the same, did not have Glacial Prison available as well. So I'm not sure if he would have been able to finish that one off. So with them now being tied in Dragons, Temple City still down 2 towers, which is really you know, giving the gold lead over to Wootton. They're going to have to try to get some pressure in here pretty soon. Captain Nuke gets done in for that gravity field right underneath of this tower. Fortunately for him,
he's tanky enough. Yeah,
he's very tanky, and it only goes onto him at the last second there as he exits. Takes 1 shot. Now Mega Gnar falls off for him. That draws the attention a lot here from the side of Wootton, as you can see 4 members now hovering around. Meanwhile, RC keeping that split pressure down in that bot side of the map.
Wootton once again just looking for pressure on the map, looking for the split pushes coming out. And that's what we see RC able to prevent any push coming out from Temple City down middle. Top lane as well has a minion wave stacking up. So Wootton has just done a really good job of just wave management, getting these waves pushing for themselves to get an advantage, get some pressure around the map.
Pressure being applied quite well. Now Captain Nuke and RC both have their teleports available, so likely going to be seeing this split pressure coming out from both of them as they work on that bottom side of the map. We can see that the Infinity Edge, first major item, has been completed for positivity as he takes a huge chunk of damage off that dissonance.
Yeah, but Infinity Edge, as you said, picked up here. Slight CS lead for positivity over Johan. And he is obviously showing that lead, has that bit of an item power spike there.
Yeah, so actually John going for the Avarice Blade. Going to see that go into a static shiv a little bit later on. So he's just looking to get a little bit more passive, you know, gold generation, which should be okay for him because he's going to scale well on this Jinx, regardless of his items at this point. Because the later the game goes, the better he's going to be, the more well off he's going to be. So just looking to get that gold, rolling for him passively so he can get those items even more quickly, but yet to be participating in any of these kills that have come out. Certainly going to want to do that so he can take off on that Jinx and become that hyper carry that he wants to be. We can see that split pressure being applied by Captain Nuke. Taking a good amount of damage, though, as the Leandra's Torment has been finished out here by RC. So that will certainly help him burn through that relatively large HP bar that Captain Nuke has garnered for himself so far.
So we're now 18 minutes into this one, and gold is basically neck and neck. We're seeing the Wootton High School have 3 members in this middle lane. They have a bit of a split push going. So you have that middle inhibitor, middle outer tower going on. Not quite there yet.
That would be impressive. But yeah, so that is going to be
on their way.
That's going to be the 3rd tier 1 tower, though, taken down by Wootton. So looking pretty good yet again in that global objective game, and that's really the game that they need to play at this point to keep ahead of Temple City. So about 1,000 ahead for them. If Temple City could close out, you know, and even up those towers, they would for sure have a pretty massive gold lead in their favor. Dragon still a couple minutes off from spawning.
RC coming out of the bush here. Captain Nuke, he's already low, has the Mega Gnar, but RC is looking to chase here. Very close to overheating. There it is. Then there's the damage, but Captain Nuke is able to hop away and get out.
Yeah, short hop of the wall does keep him safe, but we can see he's going to need to get a lot more MR if he wants to stick and apply this split push pressure against RC. His Rumble is starting to come to fruition.
Yeah.
You can see he's got that Amp Tome, likely going to go into a Seeker's Arm Guard, negate a bit of that damage that Captain Nuke's going to be outputting, as well as just keep him safe as he builds closer and closer to that Zonius. So far, RC doing a really effective job on this Rumble, despite despite being down in CS and having no kills on the board. He's still doing a pretty good job of negating the pressure, preventing Captain Nuke from splitting on the side of the lanes.
Yeah, and speaking of these other solo laners, White, huge CS lead over on Zeb. Once again, we saw a bit of a goal lead in favor of him, and that is what we've been seeing throughout these games. He's just such a strong laner. In the lane though. Oh! They get the spell shield down. Positivity flashes away. They try to flash in the follow-up. Panther Lily, she's in there. Dizzy, oh, look at the damage. Look at the equalizer. Shockwave coming in, but it won't be enough. RC picks up a kill.
That's Mega Gnar.
Captain Nuke with the Mega Gnar against the wall. They
White's
get a Zud.
Oh, but they take down Captain Nuke, and RC looks like he will fall. Flashes away. The zap comes through, but that's going to be Yami body blocking that one. Now White playing so far for the death ray, ripping through Johan's health bars. But my God, that was the fight that Wootton has been looking for, only losing Busted Ice, and they take down 3 members of Temple City. Let's take a look at this replay.
Close fight coming out here. Here's the engage, and already you see just a huge glacial fissure and an equalizer. There is the Gnar ultimate, but it's just not enough to take down more members. Yeah,
that was a beautiful ultimate, but the rest of Temple City was so far back because they were getting pressured out by Yami and RC, who has so much damage. Just Johan and Zud had to play so far back, they weren't able to capitalize on top of that. But all the same, beautifully played by Wootton, great engage by them, and that is really going to tie things up.
It wasn't as much of an engage as it was a counter engage. It was actually Positivity that got caught out. He was able to flash away, got out of a dredge line there, and it was just really close to getting taken down so quickly. And the thing is, though, like, they used the Glacial Precision on him, so they couldn't use that for, like, the big wombo combo that we were looking for.
It was looking really good, and we can see out of that fight, Zud now 2-0-2. Did not go down. Still playing quite well. Dragon has spawn sense. That's going to be the teleport coming out from Captain Nuke as he's looking to help out his team. Narbar is a little bit near full now. RC with that overheat going to be in a pretty bad spot. Huge glacial pressure with a shockwave. Zud finds a kill on the positivity. That's going to be the double. Actually, as White goes down, huge Mega Gnar stun, taking him out, locks him into the wall. That's almost a clean wipe. Yami going to be the only living member on the side of Wootton, and it looks like Temple City's just going to charge their way up and try to take down the Baron.
Tilt God is actually going to be running into Yami. He probably doesn't want to fight this one out, but Yami is going to be going in for that one. Such
He's
a
still
great
playing
fight.
forward. He can still apply pressure. Captain Nuke is nowhere near this Mega Gnar.
He's already started up on the Baron.
But he has to get to the pit if he wants to prevent this one.
Too much
This is going to be the exciting stacks coming through. Captain Nuke has that frozen mallet. He can hound him down, has to tunnel to safety. And the Baron is down low, but so many members of Temple City are near dead.
He's not close enough.
Yeah, and that is going to be Tilt God going down to the Baron, but I still think they're going to be pretty happy with that one. They take it down, they get themselves the gold lead, and the Baron buff. That's going to make the the push pressure that much better for Temple City as they look to establish their first towers. It's actually going to happen in the bot side of the map. Now you can see that gold lead pretty clearly coming in favor of them.
Yeah, and that is going to be a 23-minute Baron so early coming out for this team. And Temple City in that last fight just getting all the ultimates that they wanted and needed to catch him off. It wasn't a Glacial Prison onto one. It was onto multiple members. If Wootton not for this, we'll be able to pick up a Dragon, but Baron buff on Temple City going to really put them in the driver's seat, and we'll see what they can do with this team comp. We saw a bit of it. Now let's see some more.
Yeah, and this is really just Wootton trying to make the best of a bad situation. So they go ahead and they pick up the Dragon that will give them their second and help them push down towers even more effectively. We can see, though, gold is actually pretty well spread here between them. The biggest discrepancy seems to be coming from these junglers. Yeah. Panther Lily, of course, 2, 1, and 6 has 100% kill participation so far, and that is really extending him ahead of Yami, who has otherwise been setting up pretty good ganks, but they've not been able to close out the kills. You can see zeros across the board for him, and now with these Baron empowered minions, Temple City just push straight down the mid lane. They find themselves their second turret of the game.
Yeah, you pointed out the 0-0-0 on Yami. This is such a big difference in playstyle coming out for him. But here comes Yon the Hunt. There goes the Equalizer. They're trying to engage here. But Shockwave! Whoa! Look at that damage!
Huge wombo combo!
Into the Super Mega Death Rocket Panther Lily. He is in the front line, but they are so low. They take down Panther Lily. Where's the follow-up? They didn't have Gnar in that fight.
That is so low. That was a huge wombo combo, but all the same, Panther Lily goes down. Nobody on the side of Wootton falls. And now Yami plays so far forward, almost hit Zud. That command and protect, keeping him alive, barely so. That is a great counter engage coming in from Wootton. Let's take a look at this again. We can see this is going to be a beautiful ultimate. The Glacial Prison straight into a shockwave, but the heal comes across. The rocket hits from the side, barely does any damage, and this Flame Spitter just rips through Panther Lily. There's not too much follow-up. We'll see Yami. He chases Zud down. He has the Tremor Sight to keep track of him, but this is just, that was a great fight for Wootton.
It was a 4v5. There wasn't a Gnar there. He had the ultimate up. It would have been absolutely devastating for Thomas S. Wootton. But they're able to get away with that kill out of that fight despite the huge play coming out from Temple City.
Yep. Definitely need Captain Nuke to be present. Him without that teleport is just devastating to Temple City. They rely on the full follow-up of the Wombo combo for that to succeed. But there's still going to be plenty more opportunities. They are still in the lead here. 8-4 in kills, up 2,000 gold, but down that Dragon and tied on turrets. So still have to tiptoe around the map quite cautiously. You can see good vision coverage coming out from both sides here. A lot of Dragon vision being prioritized by Wootton. Baron will be the next point of contention, though, when that comes up in a couple minutes, probably about 3 minutes out so far on that one. So we'll see these guys start to apply some vision in that area pretty soon. You can see, though, yeah, Temple City doing a good job of applying some pressure in this mid lane, but they have to be worried about this top and bot, as it looks like the waves are getting ready to crash against them toward those tier 2s.
Yeah, and it's just well played from Thomas. That's when they're able to alleviate some of that pressure by pushing over onto that side lane. You have to back away.
We're going to go ahead and clear that one out. You can see the rush has been burned out by Yami as they gravitate up toward this top side. Scuttle Crab gets grabbed up here by Temple City. Gets himself some nice vision. It looks like Wootton might want to fight there. Really posturing forward.
On the hunt.
Yeah, on the hunt is now down. Positivity popped that one out a little prematurely, it would seem, but it is a fairly short cooldown. They just have to be cautious until it's back up. They don't want to get caught out and be unable to disengage. Captain Nuke, meanwhile, he's applying some good pressure on that bot side of the map, getting it crashing back toward the base of Wootton. Teleport is available for him. Can't say the same for RC at the given moment, but that will be coming back up within the next 15 seconds.
We have here middle lane pressure continues. The Baron is down. We're gonna have the Nard push going down onto that bottom lane. Good push coming out from Temple City here as we continue to have push onto middle. And it's just a close game between these two here. 2,000 gold. We're 28 minutes in. Temple City, they'll look very poised to take up the win here. They have had such good ultimate combos. Bottom lane tower is going to be going down to Captain Nuke, so split push coming out from him. He now gives his team Temple City 4 towers to 3 over Thomas S. Wootton.
Yeah, and this next fight I feel is really going to spell out how the rest of this game goes and who is going to take the win. An ace for Wootton would really help counteract the scaling potential that Temple City has for themselves. But at the same time, if Temple City are able to secure that, I don't know if there will be really any coming back for Wootton High School unless there's huge mechanical failure on the side of Temple. Fortunately for them, Johan has only participated in 5 of the 8 kills that Temple City has accrued for themselves and has only gotten a kill in 1 of those. All the same, though, pretty even on items against Positivity, who is sitting 16 CS up still. Phantom Dancer compared to the Static Shiv. Otherwise, Infinity Edge and Berserker Greaves for both, but that's actually going to be Pickaxe Spy now coming in for Johan. Likely going to be seeing that last Whisper coming in for him as soon as he can get it. Needs 1425 more gold to acquire that one for himself.
So CDR Home Guard boots here on white. Is this just a thing he does on mid lane champs? Because he did that last time on Twisted Fate, but once again pulling it out very early in this game. This time on the Victor is going to have though the Wootton's Echo, and that obviously just puts out so much more damage. Dragon is just about to spawn, and both of these teams are grouping up. Teleport is up for Captain Nuke, and he is over on the top half of the map right now.
Yeah, Teleport is available for him, however. So could always use that if need be. He will go ahead and roam his way down. Mid getting pressured up a little bit as that wave is pushing forward ever so slightly.
Captain Nuke going to take control of this Dragon Pit and start it up.
Yeah, this will be second for them and tie up the Dragons.
Middle.
Yeah, they're just going to go straight down.
Trying to take down these towers. That's the second tower for Temple City, but that is going to be the middle inner tower falling. So Thomas S. Wootton trying to make some objective takes. Yeah,
and that's arguably a better choice here for Wootton as they go ahead and nut themselves that tower. The mid towers are going to be the most valuable in the game because it is a short lane. Now they have to just be worried about getting pinched in here. That's going to be the Righteous Glory popped here. Busted Ice throwing out that Q to try to delay as much as possible. Beautiful equalizer goes through. The pop through, pin the Lulu fall. RC finds that kill, and now Captain Nuke has to hop out of here, but he's taking so much damage. The flash forward, Tilt God goes down, and it looks like Zed is going to follow suit. He does. Shutdown going over to Positivity. Captain Nuke, 1 hit from dead. They're not going to be able to find the kill, but they are going to be able to find themselves the Baron.
Thomas S. Wootton, a perfect place for them to fight. The equalizer coming down, and then the Chaos Stone. There's just so much magic damage from these two. They will be setting up on this Baron. Johan knows it's going down. They have a ward inside the pit. A teleport actually going to be coming up.
Oh my god, so much damage! The rocket! Oh, Johan finds the kill. Now Captain Nuke with the teleport. He goes on to Positivity. He's got so much damage, but Yami comes in for the knock-up. Here comes RC around the side. The Scrying Orb, the Prey Seeker hits, but it's not enough damage. Captain Nuke going to be on the run. He has a Mega Orb, but here comes RC from the sidelines.
Coming in for the kill here. Should be able to take this one down.
Oh,
there's one rocket. There's the jump away, though.
A huge chunk of HP.
Trying to get, and he's able to escape. Wow. Captain Nuke, they stop the Baron. They get a kill, and they get out. So Temple City in a bad fight, but they do get themselves out of here. And look at this equalizer.
Yeah, this was beautiful CC overall from Wootton High School. The equalizer perfectly placed in the channel to just melt through their HP bars. And that was basically all she wrote from there. You can see Zud just gets melted down by that Flame Spitter. Positivity able to finish him out. Captain Nuke that had to have been about 6 HP on him. he barely had anything keeping himself alive.
Yeah.
And because of that, because of him living in that instance, he was able to use the teleport, stop the Baron, and get the kill onto White. So really well played by Captain Nuke, keeping the dream alive for Temple City, it would seem. And really still keeping them in with this gold lead. It's so slight, though. It's only 900, and we're 32.5 minutes into this game. 900 gold is really just petty change at this point.
Yeah, and just in that fight, Glacial Prison knocked up on top of the Equalizer, of course. That's just such a strong combo. And they also had the Chaos Storm coming out from White to just output so much damage. So now this game just continues to be neck and neck here. After we see a fight, we just see a team take it right back.
Yeah. And if Wootton can get another fight like that, it's going to be devastating. I mean, that one was already pretty devastating. They barely lost White. They barely lost the attempt at that dragon. One more fight in a close channel like that after the items that they've been able to buy for themselves, I don't know if it's going to tell the same story here. They very well could just come out weighing on top of it. We can see Yami now applying some pressure on this bot side of the map. He's going to try to draw some attention down there, keep that wave moving up. They've yet to be able to break the rest of these tier 2s. Dead even on towers, 4-4 in that regard. The mid down for them compared to the bot tower that has been taken for Temple City. So different sides of the map being prioritized here. It's still just less and less gold separating these guys as the time goes on. Baron's still going to be a point of contention, but with the way that these guys are tiptoeing around and playing so cautiously around each other at this point, Dragon might even be the next point of contention for these guys, because I don't know if anybody really wants to even try to play around the Baron without getting a major team fight victory first.
So Wootton Heights are going to be putting themselves back into the Baron, and or back into the Baron area. He's going to be clearing out some wards here, obviously. We are seeing no sight stone on Yami. I think someone mentioned to us, like, Yami just no sight stone. He's going to be going for his, a pretty selfish build here. He does obviously have to lock it down in Solari, Sintork and Shaman to be the tank, but also going for a black cleaver, so he's still looking to output a lot of damage. And that will just add to Zanya's Hourglass and the item for RC.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be on the hunt popped here as they try to find themselves a pick. Captain Nuke on the sidelines. Maybe the one in their sights, not able to slow him out. Oh, Equalizer thrown on the backside. That's going to find nobody. Here comes Captain Nuke. A huge three-man ultimate into the wall. That's going to be the shockwave on top of that. And they're just going to get melted down, busted ice. One hit from Dead. Looks like he will actually get out of this one alive, but Zud takes down RC. And now Captain Nuke still playing so far forward. Gets stunned by the gravity field before he can finalize that. One kill. That is actually miraculous for Wootton. With that, that's not enough for them to try to take the Baron. He's going to be up in 30 seconds. The teleport is still there. Really questionable Equalizer from RC.
I mean, they see the Equalizer come down. They know they can go in on this. That is such a huge part of Thomas S. Wootton's team fighting combo taken down. The Gnar up against the wall. Everybody just comes back with it. So this is just huge here for Temple City. They just have to keep getting those combos off, but only one kill coming out from it. Can't do too much with that.
Yeah, it's one misstep on either side just spells the rest of that fight. There's no way that Temple City would have engaged that if the Equalizer had not been thrown out. It would have been so dangerous for them. But because RC threw that so far into the backside and just completely whiffed it, they're like, you know what? We can fight. And then they pop the Righteous Glory and they just go charging straight in with little worry. It really is just miraculous and shocking that RC was the only one that died in that exchange.
Yeah. You know, last game we were talking about White being like 5-0-5 on this Victor. Look over at that. He's 5-1-5 on this Orianna. Almost has 100% kill participation. And we're just seeing such a big flip here. Zud on the Orianna. Huge player in this game.
Yeah, really making it work for him this time around. And White just not able to find his footing. 3, 3, and 4 on this Victor. Still going to be impactful and is wildly ahead in CS. You can see, though, that's going to be the third dragon of the game going over to Temple City as they continue to stretch this lead that they've garnered for themselves, now hovering around 1.6 thousand with that dragon up. Turret's still even, but they're going to be looking to change that and maybe pressure down this mid lane. Maybe go pressure around this Baron pit. We can see them hovering up near that, likely going to be clearing out some vision, getting some recalls out. RC does have that teleport, so he could pop that if needed. Captain Nuke, meanwhile, is charging straight down to that bot side of the map. Going to be looking to apply that mid pressure all over again. He is just wreaking havoc on these sidelines.
So here we see the pressure over in the Baron pit. Thomas Wootton, though, they're right in front of the Scuttle crowd, so they can't quite bait this one out. They're going to be hiding inside of the pit, though. They'll be taking on the wood, trying to bait something out here. Captain Nuke is down in the bottom lane, and they actually want to start up on this Baron here.
This is so risky.
Temple City, they know this is going down.
Captain Nuke, he has the Mega Dart. He's coming in on the side.
Here's a teleport, going to be coming in, handling over the wall. They disengage off of it. Death Charge going to be
gravity
following
field.
White, but look at that gravity field, just stops the engage.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful gravity field placement by White. Completely negates the engage. That's Righteous Glory down for 90 seconds. Teleport burned out by Captain Nuke. They're actually going to start this one back up. I don't know if I agree with this with Wootton. This could be a very dangerous play.
Oh, here comes Wootton from the side, but can't get the ball into a favorable position. Tower's going to be falling in the top lane because there are waves pushing for Thomas S. Wootton in the middle lane as well here, and they feel off of the spin. They want to go in. They might get to gets over the wall. The equalizer will be getting dropped down. They have to try to back away. Yami going against a knockup. Here comes the nice. They look at the stuns. They look at the shockwave. A double kill going to be coming up for Zud. They're doing so much damage. White picks up a kill for himself.
Here comes the Jinx.
But no, here it comes. Johan over the side of the wall. Double kill for Positivity. He just gets shut down. And that is going to be the ace of triple kill for Johan. Temple City find the team fight win.
And that is a 3 for 5 in favor of Temple City. Don't need the Baron. Looks like they're just going to charge straight down this lane. Actually, they might just peel back with Captain Nuke still being this healthy despite being one of the first ones to get caught out. He could still take this one up, and Johan with this last Whisper. Blade of the Rune King on the way. He's going to be able to melt straight through this one. Looks like he's doing just that. This is going to fall in their favor. Yami's spawning in 10 seconds. They're going to go ahead and break that tunnel out. Let's take a look at this replay. This is beautiful. It looked like Wootton had a fantastic start to this fight as Yami gets ready to go in. They get the pop up on the Captain Nuke, but he's just so damn tanky. Equalizer falls a little bit short and allows a little bit of room for them to slip through.
Look at that shockwave and the Glacial Prison.
Yeah, this is just beautiful stacked CC coming in time and time again.
And Johan in the back
City.
line the entire time. He was pretty much he was actually untouched throughout the entire fight. The damage coming out from the Rockets. He picks up a triple kill. What a play coming out from them.
Yeah, and at this point of a fight, once Judd uses the shockwave, you really don't need to pressure him out anymore. You need to go onto Johan because he can just sit in the back like that, throw out those rockets from a distance, and just rip through your health bars. And if he is allowed to continue to do just that, Wootton is going to lose 10 out of 10 fights every single time.
Yeah, he is just so big right now. Infinity Edge, Blade of the Rune King, Static Shift, Last Whisper. He'll be doing so much AoE damage, and Temple City, this team comp is really finally showing up. It's the heavy engaged team fighting team composition. Looks a lot better than that last game. Now they have Baron buff. Now they're pushing here onto middle. They do have Johan down in bottom though.
Yeah, and this is going to be really great split pressure yet again
protecting the
from Temple City.
Trying to protect the siege minion here, so he can continue to take damage out. Positivity going low.
Yeah, and
very close to going down. That means it is a tower going over to Temple City.
And he just got it back right out of there, and Tier 2 goes down. Now 5 to 5 in turrets, but you can see 5,000 gold in favor of Temple City. 6 kills up, plus that Dragon and the Baron. So far ahead at this point. This is looking pretty grim for Wootton, who had a pretty dominating performance in that last game. He's not able to find the same footing this time.
Oh, Shockwave going down. Look at the damage. Super Mega Death Arc does get blocked, but White did go down to Zud. And now the pressure will continue. 60 seconds on the death timer because we're 40 minutes in. Temple City looking forward to take down some more objectives here. Top lane pushing. They have the banned up minions, and they will be sieging down here. Yeah,
and look at this top wave. Even if this siege in the mid side does not pay out for them, you can always rotate up top.
Oh, he
pressure that out, yeah.
Trying to clear out waves, but they just look at it.
It's not even on the minions.
They're just trying to tank up the tower, and they do. Minions are just too far away. This will mean the inhibitor, Temple City, look at the first inhib of this game. They rotate straight up to the top lane.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to get another Tier 2 for their troubles. Just rip right through this. Johan is so huge on this Jinx. 5-0 and 8 up in CS now. I just don't know that there's anything that Wootton can do here to try to stop this. Straight back onto this tower. The Baron Empowered Minion is doing so much positivity. Yet again, chunked right back out. Turret goes down. They go in. They try to knock him up. Yami getting locked up by that Glacial Prison. And Tilgod's just playing so far forward, locking him in, dragging him in with the dredge line. That's going to be 2 going down, and it looks like Temple City might be able to close out the game on this push.
Yeah, they'll be pushing in. That's the second inhibitor down. 2 members down, as you said, from those pickoffs. And they just push through the team. Thomas S. Wootton, they are now on to Nexus Towers. There's a Rizzo going up. Shockwave down to White. So much damage coming, and they take him down. And that is another kill going over to Zud. This has to be the game here. The Nexus Towers are going to fall. Temple City going to be able to bring this match over to 1-1 as the Nexus falls. Temple City find the win. Now the match score 1-1 over Thomas S. Wootton.
All right, Temple City. Definitely going to be feeling great about that victory. That's exactly what they needed to instill some confidence and garner some motivation or some momentum for these guys as they look to move forward in this series. Now 1-1 in a best of 5. 2 wins for either side take it and net first place, but after that one, I don't know. We might be going to Game 5.
Yeah,
that's a fantastic play coming out from both from both sides in both of these games. But Temple City in that one just really running away with a victory. Johan showing up hard with that Jinx, just so absolutely taking off. Tristana clearly not his champion, but the Jinx, he can make that one work. It's a risky early selection, but despite that pressure that was being applied by the Rek'Sai, that he's just able to find his footing as they move forward in that game, and just absolutely devastates the lines.
So we'll begin to Game 3 very shortly. Before we go to a quick break, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Rockcat, who are producing innovative, high-quality products for today's ambitious gamers, as well as Jinx Apparel, where you can get geared up with apparel, high-quality apparel for your favorite games. So, guys, you're going to be right back, but when we come back, it is going to be game number 3 of Temple City High School versus Thomas S. Wootton. So far, it's 1-1. We'll be right back.
Through all of this madness,